You're watching All Sports, the true alternative.
History has 3 steps. Step 1 begins now. It's Wild Card Weekend now on the NFL on CEN.
Welcome to the first edition of the NFL on CEN, where it's Wild Card Weekend here on the NFL on CEN, and we're going to discuss the most pivotal matchups of this week, including Seattle and Minnesota, Washington and Green Bay, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, and Kansas City and Houston. All this and more here on the NFL on CEN. Now, we'll be right back with a preview of Washington and Green Bay. Stay tuned. We're back now with more of the NFL on CEN, and now we have a preview of one of the wild card games, and it's this Sunday, 4:40 p.m. The Washington Redskins go against the Green Bay Packers. Now, it's a home game for the Redskins. After winning their last 4 straight, they get a home game, and they won the NFC East. Now, let's look at some pivotal matchups here. One matchup to look forward to is Jordan Reed versus Clay Matthews, because you need a linebacker against the speedster Jordan Reed. Now, he's an athletic tight end, and he's been healthy ever since, and it's been a big dividends for Kirk Cousins. Look out for Jordan Reed versus Clay Matthews this weekend. Also, DeSean Jackson versus Sam Shields. The old veteran goes against the speedster, the fast man, DeSean Jackson. Easily regarded on top with Jordan Reed as Washington's number 1 threat. He goes to DeSean Jackson as much as Jordan Reed. So look forward to that one. And also Ryan Kerrigan, the defensive end for the Washington Redskins, against the Packers franchise left tackle Brian Bulaga. That is another matchup to watch this week as well, because Brian Bulaga is returning, and Ryan Kerrigan this year has, I believe, more than 8 sacks on the year, so that should be a pivotal matchup as well. We'll have a preview of Seattle and Minnesota coming up here on the NFL on CEN. Back to the NFL on CEN. I'm Clark Ian, and we're dissecting the playoff matchups as usual, and for a wild card weekend. And now it's Minnesota against Seattle, the Vikings versus the Seahawks. Now, the last time these two teams met, the Seahawks blew out the Vikings 38-7 in Seattle, and this is where the story is different this time. Minnesota gets their home playoff game, and the weather will be important in this game, because the weather at game time will be 3 degrees with a wind chill of 15 below. Obviously, a team like Minnesota is used to playing in that weather. Seattle isn't. Now, Marshawn Lynch, here's the interesting factors here that you got to look forward to, and you got to point out here to watch this game. Marshawn Lynch will be back for the first time in weeks after facing sports hernia surgery. Now, it's a big addition for the Seahawks because they get their starting running back, and they get that physicality back in their backfield. Now, the big matchups is very simple. It's going to be the Seahawks offensive line and their running game against the Vikings defensive line. Can the Vikings defensive line rewrite a story that was once told in Seattle? They were sleepless in Seattle. Can they, so to speak, turn it around and win against Seattle this weekend? That is the question, I believe, when it comes to Minnesota and Seattle. Also, though, you got to look at the quarterback matchup. Teddy Bridgewater versus Russell Wilson. A pivotal matchup indeed. Let's see how the two quarterbacks play this week. Obviously, both have very similar qualities. They can both run. They can both deliver the football. They don't turn over the ball much. So it'll be an interesting matchup to see. The spread has them even in Vegas, but will the score be even? That's the question. Minnesota and Seattle this Saturday here on another network for the wild card. Now, we'll be right back. My overall predictions: Seattle will win, Washington will win, Kansas City will win, and the Bengals will win. Those are my wild card predictions. Good night, everybody, from the NFL on CN.